Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard if you're brand new. Welcome back if you're not. Welcome home if that sits where it sits for you. As always, completely and totally dependent on where you happen to be in relation to these messages, this channel, and this week. This is the week of the 31st of July through the 6th of August, and let's get right in. We start this week with a Capricorn moon, always exciting and precise. That moon squares Chiron and trines Uranus, quincunxes Venus, and sextiles Jupiter before conjuncting Pluto and then moving into Aquarius. So this is like we have that self and other theme going on right now, right? So this is about relationships and how and where we are in relation to those relationships, right? What is our perspective? So here's the deal. On Monday, memories can be activated. They can also be activating, right? So here's the deal. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Welcome even the challenging memories. Welcome them. That is a challenge, but do it anyway. Plumb the depths and search their totalities for things that you might have previously not seen or heard or known when that was in motion, right? Use your new story and that chosen sense of home to put those things into your new healed story, right? So what you're doing is replacing and recognizing, recognizing, right? Reassessing, and then rewriting, depending on how that works in your story. But make sure that you're telling the healed version. Well, hello, twos and twos, okie dokie. On Tuesday, the 1st of August, early in the morning, like coffee time, that Aquarius moon is going to quincunx Mercury in Virgo, right? And then at 1:32 p.m. Central Time, the Aquarius moon opposes the Leo sun. We get a full moon at 9 degrees Aquarius. Not long after that, in the afternoon, Mars in Virgo is going to trine Jupiter, and then the moon will square Jupiter and quincunx Mars, of course. And later in the evening, that Mercury in Virgo is going to oppose Saturn. So here's the deal. This is the first full moon in August. We will have a blue moon at the end of the month. And this moon is also T-square with Jupiter. So this is going to be heavier than normal energy for an Aquarius full moon, which is usually light-ish energy, right? And Mars trining Jupiter, this is a day where you can really bite off more than you can chew and end up feeling all kinds of ways about it. So rely on your clarity, not your expression, okay? Rely on your clarity, not your expression, and mind your words and actions. The aspects today really increase the likelihood of, let's call it miscommunication, that can lead to a real misunderstanding. So, sometimes I say, when in doubt, shh. Let's take that to heart. When in doubt, keep it in your mouth. On Wednesday the 2nd, that Aquarius moon is going to sextile Chiron early in the morning and then square Uranus and oppose Venus, right? Retrograding Venus in Leo before moving into Pisces later in the evening. So Wednesday is a day where your impulsive actions can actually lead to some pretty big regrets. And that's really going to be due to the consequences to those around you, right? So sometimes our actions come back at us, and sometimes our consequences ripple out to the people around us. And here's the deal. Your widest sense of home, right? What home smells like, feels like, tastes like, that definitely only applies to you, but it usually includes the people that you love, of course. So what I'm saying is that the consequences of your impulsive actions may really bleed out today to those in your periphery of home. And so think 2 minutes ahead. Just think 2 minutes ahead, right? And that could prevent some really hard feelings later. And just an FYI, it never hurts to think 2 minutes ahead. It always kind of helps. On Thursday, the 3rd. So Pisces moon, right? So that Pisces moon conjunct Saturn. It opposes Mercury, quincunxes the Sun, sextiles Jupiter, and opposes Mars. So here's the deal. When in doubt, on Thursday, fall back on your nature as a doer. So let your get shit done be your expression today. And if that means tasks, beautiful. If it means something creative, also beautiful. Whatever you choose to allow that expression to be, make sure that you give your heart to it and remind yourself of that as many times as you need to, that intention is enough. If you're devoting your, I saw you, friend, your whole heart to it, then that is always enough. It's always enough. Because all you can do is all you can do. And just remind yourself of that as often as you need to. On Friday, the 4th of August, that Pisces moon is going to sextile Uranus, quincunx retrograding Venus. Why, hello. Conjunct Neptune, sextile Pluto, and then at the very end of the day, move into Aries. Now here's the deal. That puts most of our day in that super dreamy kind of energy. So this might be a day where you're most comfortable in nebulous and etheric kind of reverie, right? So it's going to feel floaty. It's going to feel deep. And guess what? That is okay. Sometimes it's more than okay. Sometimes it's delicious and perfect and wonderful. The key is that resistance to that is the thing that can be your undoing. So if you just give yourself over to that, surrender to that blurred edge kind of feeling and bob in the current, you'll be best off, as opposed to if you're trying to muscle through strong arm and kind of flex your way through the day. In the evening, find something deliciously romantic to do. And whether that means you're alone or not, it doesn't really matter, right? You can take yourself on a date. You can do something wonderful for and with yourself. You don't have to have someone there, but if you choose to do that, it might feel really wonderful. And remember that about 10 o'clock, that moon shifts into Aries, and so things are going to heat up. So on Saturday, the 5th of August, we have that Aries moon quincunxing Mercury and trining the Sun. So it's really a snapback day from Friday. So we have a fire moon and a fire sun, right? So this might heat up your experience of yourself, and the expression of that you on fire might feel not only hampered, but really kind of at odds with your reality. So try to resist the urge to self-destruct. What I mean by that is we're out of alignment, right? Our Aries moon dominance is out of alignment with our Virgo Mercury. So how we feel about our expression is out of alignment. And the way that we're able to express might feel self-destructive. And you might choose to pick that apart. Up-level your self-love instead, right? On Sunday, the 6th of August, that Pisces moon is going to quincunx Mars. Why, hello. And then conjunct Chiron, trine Libra. And then the Sun, that Leo Sun, is going to square Jupiter. Always exciting, right? And then the moon in Aries will square Pluto. again, this is a day that can feel a little sparry, a little quarrelsome, a little posturing. Know that some days just feel conflated, right? Sometimes the energy is just dissonant. That's okay. When in doubt, know that even your best intentions sometimes will meet and trigger the rest of the world. It is absolutely okay to disagree, and it's also okay to agree to leave a thing alone and address it a different day, right? So focus, right? Focus on the love and what lies between and within, right? Don't make the small things too big, right? Because that, my friends, is a recipe for disaster most of the time. Most of the time. So this is a week that's kind of really a balancing act, right? We have Mercury opposing Saturn, and then we have the Moon opposing Mercury and Venus and Mars. So this is, you know, our expression as it is in opposition to how we're able to work with that expression and get things done with that expression. And also the Moon in opposition to that expression. And our experience of home and the way that we get things done. So that Saturn energy kind of entering into that mix on all the levels really creates awareness of our consequences, right? And Jupiter's entry into that equation really amplifies all of that and those challenges. So this week is a week where we are asked to really work on our emotional, oh yeah, look at that, our emotional balance, which is sometimes challenging, sometimes easier than others. Let's see what messages we have here. So, all right, we've got the Two of Cups and the Five of Swords. So this is love and conflict. So we talked about this as that day where we're welcoming our challenging memories, right? Where we could be activated, they could feel activating, and how we get to tell that new story. So regardless of whether we're looking at this beautiful gift of love or conflict, guess what? Sometimes conflict is a gift of love, because how do we learn to resolve conflict if we never have it? How do we learn to communicate if we never have a misunderstanding? How do we learn to hone our message if we're never actually speaking it out loud, right? Where is our refinement if nothing ever pushes back against it? Then it's just a theory. Then our application, our experience of that is never really in motion. And it's just theoretical. Here's the deal. There's a beauty in theory, but we have to test that in application. So make sure that you're willing to dive in and always lead with love, even in the midst of conflict, right? On Tuesday, we've got the Two of Swords and Death. So beautiful. This is our day of Aquarius full moon, right? And so this is about choices. This is about that air energy. Swords are always about ideas and communication and our intellect, right? What we think about a thing. And death offers you the opportunity to shift and change that, to level up, to transform your beliefs. Or even your confusion, right? Because the Two of Swords can sometimes be, I'm overthinking, right? So here's the deal. We've got Mercury in Virgo. We've got Mars in Virgo. And we have Mercury opposing Saturn today. So we talked about this as a day that might be heavier than normal, a day where we might bite off more than you can chew. Well, guess what? If you're relying on your clarity, not your expression, and you're trusting those, if you're trusting that expression in its highest, you're always going to get back to understanding. So if you're really kind of just working on what's always been or what you think, and you're absent your emotional body, what's going to happen is that things will have to transform so that you can gain clarity and understanding and a balance, right? Without that balance, you have nothing. You just have a tilted perspective. that is incomplete. On Wednesday, the 2nd, we have the King of Pentacles and the Six of Wands, right? This is lovely energy, honestly. So King of Pentacles is all about being fully resourced and understanding where to apply those resources. And the Six of Wands is about it's about victory. It's about how we achieve a thing, right? So we talked about this as a day where your impulsive actions could lead to regrets, right? And where failing to witness the consequences to those around you could really create some deep consequences, right? And hard feelings. And so we're going to talk about planning again, right? And sometimes the victory is thinking 2 minutes ahead, planning, witnessing what will happen. Your this consequence, this consequence, this consequence. And as we have that moon in Aquarius, right? Aquarius is the 3rd air sign. This is about witnessing every perspective and being able to apply it to the total, to the whole, to the collective. So 2 minutes ahead, right? Two minutes ahead will create the situation where you are in control of your resources. And guess what? You're always going to win when you exert or flex that control. On Thursday, we have the Magician and the Three of Pentacles. This is lovely. So the Magician is about manifestation and creation, right? It's about that elemental magic. It's really about being able to manipulate your reality, your 3D consciousness in order to reflect what you want. And then the Three of Pentacles, this is about collaboration. This is about how you're in expression with another, right? And so we talked about this, about when in doubt, falling back on your nature as a doer and letting your get shit done be your expression, right? So here's the thing. Whatever you're doing, make sure that you're doing it with the widest of intention. Make sure that your actions are as inclusive as possible. And if that means that you're creating something, that's beautiful. If it means that you're accomplishing something, that's beautiful. Regardless, it means that whatever it is that you're doing is perfect. It's perfectly aligned. It's perfectly timed. It's perfectly you, right? There's only the concept of perfect place, perfect time. We're never in loss. We're only in experience. And that's never a bad thing, right? It just is. It is what it is. On Friday, wow, we've got the Knight of Swords and the Hierophant. So here's the deal. This is that day we talked about as being very dreamy, of being in that nebulous state where you're really focused on your reverie, right? What is blurry and beyond the veil. And so here's the thing. Your resistance is your undoing, getting your brain involved, calling in what I'm supposed to think, right? How I'm supposed to be acting here, what I've been told that is expected of me, right? Bringing your brain too hard into this day is really going to create some turbulence for you, some stopping points, some road bumps, speed bumps. So give in to the current, right? Whether or not that's what you've been told, right? The Hierophant asks you, does this align with your highest good? Does it align with your resonance? Is this in your best interest? And if it's not, it's your job, right? To move away from that, to shift and change what your experience is, what your belief is around it. And sometimes we give up by giving in. And this is a day to surrender to what is on the other side of your brain. See what happens. You might like it. You never know. On the 5th of August, we've got the Five of Pentacles and the Tower. So again, we talked about this as being a snapback kind of day, right? So how the fire moon and fire sun are going to heat up your self-experience. Try to resist the urge to self-destruct. Okay, so the Five of Pentacles reminds you that you are always resourced, right? This is an energy that says, I'm in lack, I'm in scarcity, I'm being left out, I'm being left behind, I don't have enough. The Tower says, guess what? That's absolutely not true. And if that's your experience, perhaps what you can adjust instead is your expectation, is your belief, right? And your expression will adapt in kind. So leveling up your self game could be cataclysmically shifting for your experience, right? Remembering that the Five of Pentacles is all about your expectation of your 3D reality. So the way that you're going to shift your 3D reality is to shift your expectation, what you're calling in, what you're creating for yourself, right? Based on what you need, not your expectation based on your history, but your expectation based on your highest good, what you want to experience, right? And then on Sunday, we've got the Four of Pentacles and the World. A day that we talked about as feeling a little bit quarrelsome, right? And days where we know that our intentions are going to trigger other people and that it's okay to disagree and even to leave things for another day. But always making sure that we're not making those small things big. So the Four of Pentacles is a card that asks us, are we in scarcity? Are we? Did we deal with it yesterday? Or did we carry it forth to today? Well, here's the deal. The Four of Pentacles can either be miserly, or it can be consciously conserving. Now, here's the deal. If you choose to wait, if you choose to just say, you know what, we're going to table this. We're just going to put it over here and talk about it in a week or whenever the time feels right. That's okay, right? Sometimes that's coming full circle. That's saying, I'm not going to be in this conflict from back up here. I've learned something this week, right? And sometimes what we've learned is to simply lead with, let's wait, right? Let's not set it on fire right now. Let's not have a conflagration. Let's not have a big dramatic argument. Let's just say, this doesn't feel like the day to talk about this. So let's agree to disagree right now, and we'll see if we can come to some kind of terms or understanding later, right? That's okay. Sometimes that agreement is a full circle completion, right? That can be a whole leveling up in and of itself. Here's the deal. We've got Know What Matters. Again, know what matters. This is a time when our self and other within relationship themes are highlighted. We have a Leo sun and an Aquarius full moon this week. So how we balance our self with other, with relationship, with the collective, with the greater, with the larger, right? And also with the highest. We have to know what matters, right? We're prioritizing. We're learning to prioritize our needs in relation to the wider needs, right? And we're coming out of a general phase that speaks to very much a self-driven mindset, right? And that is, generally speaking, I say very gently, a wounded mindset. Yes, you have to keep yourself in mind first and foremost. You have to do your own healing first and foremost, but you're doing that as a service to the wider collective, right? In addition to making it a service to yourself. So again, we're talking about that big, this is balancing energy, right? So we're going to balance needs, and we're going to balance the needs of us, certainly, but we're also going to take into consideration the needs of the rest, because that's our existence, right? That's our lesson. Let's talk about this absolutely delicious fire card here. So elemental, right? So beautiful right here under the Magician, right here after the World, right? With the Tower, so fiery. Fire consumes anything that it touches. The flames remind us of the impermanent nature of reality and how situations can quickly transform into beauty or chaos. Fire is passion, and its dancing flames invite us to reach to the sky. I like that. Warmth and light are heavenly, yet too much heat can scorch us. To fully step into the energy of fire is to be utterly transformed, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Well, guess what? We've got the Tower, and we have death, right? We've got the World, and we've got the Six of Wands. We've got this is reflected everywhere this week. The invitation: warm your hands and your heart by the inner fire. Let it burn away your hardships. Let it consume your pain and your sorrow. Has life become too rigid, too cold, or too superficial? Light a candle or make a bonfire and toss into the flames everything that has become stiff and painful. Give it all to the fire for rapid transformation, right? Set your life on fire, right? This is a very cold card, Five of Pentacles. Being left out in the cold is the standard interpretation. And so all around this, we have the fire of self, the fire of heart, right? Everywhere else. The medicine. Are you feeling too fiery? Have you been reactive and short-tempered towards others? This card has come to tell you that all fiery emotions directed at others can backfire at you. It's not a good idea to play with fire when you're out of balance or angry. Now is not the time to act or react. Now is the time to tame and befriend your inner fire so it does not scorch you. And I would add, or those around you, given the wider messaging of this week, right? So again, we are balancing self and other, inner and outer, right? We are balancing head and heart. We are balancing. We're coming into alignment. What does that mean? When we're balancing a thing, we are becoming the fulcrum, right? We're becoming the center, whatever that means to you, however that is expressed to you. The key is to know what matters and bring that along with you into the center, understanding that there's really nothing out there, right? Anyway, that's what's up this week. Big blessings. I think we'll do full moon, right? So yeah, we will. Until then, take care, be blessed, and see you soon. Thanks for watching.